will you start recording, please?
Okay, the stream is live and we are also recording.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Samantha, as we do have a quorum, will you please go ahead and do, I will do the call to start the meeting to order. Okay. Samantha, will you please pull the members by name? I want to remind everybody to please answer when there is a roll call.
Right, so I will go through the list, and if you're here, please let us know. Grant Anderson.
Here.
Charles Andrews. Back. Celeste Garza.
Here.
Thank you. Bryce Christo. I thought I saw you, Bryce. Are you there? We'll come back. Jerry Cooper.
Here.
Thank you. David Fabiano.
I'm here.
Thank you. Angela Horn.
Here.
Jennifer Jack. Jennifer Jack.
I'm here. Sorry, I tried the space bar thing. I guess it didn't work.
That's okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
David Janover.
Here.
Thank you. Kevin Lair. Kevin Lair. Back. Arian LaRange.
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. Paul Lopez. Paul Lopez. All right. Jamie McCracken. All right. Brad Novacek. Brad, are you there? Okay. Steve O'Brien.
Here.
Thank you. Tim Oliver.
Here.
Thank you. Dana Owasani. Dana, are you there? Okay. Herman Pedrahita.
Here.
Thank you. Matt Reeg.
Here.
Thank you. Patrick Sage.
Here.
Thank you. Chris Salas. Are you here yet, Chris? All right, we'll come back. Emil Schmid.
Here.
Thank you. David Meinhardt.
Here.
Thank you. Brandon Squire. Come back. Leticia Vargas.
Here.
Thank you. And Maria Angelica Deeb.
Here. And just to let you know on the chat, Bryce Christo and Dana Oceani confirmed that they're here.
Okay, thank you.
This is Bryce. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I had to hit *6 in order to get it through on the phone.
How
Okay.
about me? This is Dana. Can you hear me?
Yes, Dana, thank you.
All right. And was there anybody else who's there whose name I did not call? Okay. And we do have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Excellent. So we do have a quorum, so this meeting is officially called to order. As a reminder, please mute your microphone to eliminate feedback. You will have an opportunity to either raise your hand or use the chat to be recognized, at which time you can unmute your microphone to talk. You can also write whatever you want in the chat, and we will provide an opportunity to read or comment on it. Before speaking, please state your name and your organization. Item number 2, this is called to the audience. It's an opportunity will be provided to the members of the public to provide input through written comments to the street committee on items that are not on the agenda that are within the jurisdiction of MAG or on items on the agenda for discussion but not for action. Members of the public are asked to submit written comments related to this meeting through the MAG website and indicate for which meeting the comment is intended. Comments may be sent at any time leading up to the meeting, but must be received at least 1 hour prior to the posted start time for the meeting. Comments received prior to the deadline will be read aloud during the meeting. Comments must not exceed 3 minutes in length. A total of 15 minutes will be provided for the call to the audience agenda item unless the street committee requests an exception to this meeting. Please note that comments received for agenda items posted for action will be read at the time the item is heard. Samantha, did we receive any public comments? If so, please read them at this time.
No, Madam Chair, we did not receive any public comments.
Thank you. Let's proceed with agenda item 3. MAG staff member Kristen Myers will now provide updates and a report to the committee. Kristen?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I have a few things to report today. First, I would like to welcome our new committee member, Mr. Jerry Cooper, who is representing the town of Paradise Valley. Mr. Cooper is the town's public works superintendent. If you can give us a quick wave, Jerry, I won't put you on the spot except for that.
There we are.
It's great to have you on board. This
Thank
is a
you.
wonderful committee. I think you're going to really enjoy it. So
Thank you. I'm
thank
glad
you
to
for
be here.
participating. Second, project workbooks will be going out to agencies in March. An email will be sent later on to ask you who to identify as a staff member who can help MAG with those workbooks. So you will get an email from either me or Patrick Stone later on requesting that staff person. In addition, MAG is beginning the development of the new FY22 to FY26. Can you believe we're saying 2026? Transportation Improvement Program. Staff will be contacting agencies on project updates later this spring, so more to come on that one. Some good news, as part of the December stimulus bill, MAG will receive $25 million from that bill. Staff is currently considering using that money to fortify existing programs and ensure a strong closeout process over the next few years. So more information will be coming on this item in the future, but if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or John Bullen and we can answer your questions. And lastly, an update on HERF and RARF revenues from December of 2020. RARF is up 5.8% from December of 2019 and up 5.6% overall from the last year. HERF was up 6.5% from December of 2019. However, HERF stayed flat throughout 2020. So I'm happy to answer any questions. That ends my report, but I did have a lot to say, so I promise an email out to the committee afterwards. So if you weren't able to take notes, you'll have this update. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Kristen. Let's continue with agenda item number 4. This is approval of the consent agenda. Please note that committee members may request that an item be removed from the consent agenda. Prior to the action on the consent agenda, members of the public will also be provided an opportunity to comment on these consent items. Consent items are masked in an asterisk if you're following the agenda. The first proposed item for consent is the approval of the December 8, 2020 meeting minutes. Please take a few moments to review the minutes for the December 8th meeting if you have not already. Does any committee member have any revisions to be made? As I don't see any raised hands or any chat, could I have a motion to recommend approval of the meeting minutes of December 8th, 2020?
So moved.
Thank you, David. And do I have a second?
Second, this is Angela.
Thank you. When Samantha calls your name, please indicate yay or nay. Samantha?
Yes. All right. Grant Anderson,
Aye.
Plus Garza.
Aye.
Thank you. Bryce Christo.
Aye.
Thank you. Jerry Cooper.
Aye.
Thank you. David Fabiano.
That's a yay. You said yay or nay, didn't you, Maria?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, David. Angela Horn.
Yay.
Thank you. Jennifer Jack.
Yay.
Thank you. David Janover.
Aye.
Thank you. Kevin Lair. Okay. Aaron LaRange.
Federal Highways doesn't have a vote.
Okay. Thank you. Paul Lopez.
Aye.
Right. Steve O'Brien.
Okay.
Thank you. Tim Oliver.
Aye.
Thank you. Dana Awasani.
Aye.
Thank you. Ramon Pedrahita.
Aye.
Thank you. Matt Reig.
Aye.
Thank you. Patrick Sage.
Aye.
Chris Salas. Okay. Emil Schmid.
Aye.
Right. Thank you. David Meinhardt.
Yay.
Thank you. Leticia Vargas.
Aye.
And Maria Angelica Deeb.
Aye. Thank you. With the motion and the second and all the members polled on the phone, the motion passes. Thank you. That concludes our consent agenda items. Let's proceed with number 5. Ms. Kristen Myers will now present the LCP project change process overview. Kristen?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. This item is for information and discussion and will have no action. So it's that time of year again. It's February, and we're getting ready to update the arterial life cycle program. And as part of that, agencies are able to come forward for project change requests to their ALCP program. I'm just going to quickly give you a briefing on what your role is as the street committee and what will be presented by our member agencies. So just an overview on the ALCP. The ALCP serves as the financial management tool for the arterial component of the RTP, the Regional Transportation Plan. And this program is guided by the policies and procedures that were approved by Regional Council in an update on December 2nd of 2020. Your role as the street committee is to listen to the agencies coming forward with regard to their original ALCP project scope and the change that they are requesting with a substituting a project. And the Meg Street Committee will then vote from a technical standpoint to recommend this moving forward through the committee process. So with the ALCP project change process, the project change summary is included with each request, and you do have that in your agenda packet. It summarizes current and planned features, provides the ALC project budgets, and has details on the cost estimate as provided by the cities. Changes also require evaluation within the ALCP project change tool. And this evaluates projects based on 9 criteria, and I'll go over those quickly on the next slide. So the 9 criteria, we've condensed them here, but you're going to see an overview of the proposed projects today when the presentation starts, an overview of the existing project, explanation on why the original project was deemed not feasible, a detail on how the change would relieve congestion and improve mobility, and then the results of that project change tool analysis that we discussed a little bit ago. So with that, Madam Chair, that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Do we have any questions from the committee? If not, let's please proceed with item 6. And this is the ALCP project change technical review for Warner Road, Record Road to Power Road, Baseline Road, Greenfield Road to Power Road, and McQueen Road at Guadalupe. Mr. David Fanviano from the town of Gilbert will now present the requested ALCP project change technical review. David?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Thank you, Samantha. There are 3 projects that the town of Gilbert would like to have to change into a line. We've got 2 projects that we're going to be changing out. The first one that's going to be changing out Mustang Drive, Ray Road at Gilbert Road and intersection, and then those are the ones that we're wanting to change away from. If you could go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Mustang Drive was included as part of the feasibility study and also design concept report for the new traffic service traffic interchange at Lindsay Road and State Route 202. As that project was moving forward over the last several years, Mustang Drive proved to really not be a feasible to be included as for improvements to happen, and so consequently it will not be constructed, and there will not be an overcrossing of the 202 freeway there along at Mustang. There will be frontage roads and things included, but Mustang, and we've got funding that is ALCP funding that is left over that we'd like to get moved into some of the other projects within the town of Gilbert. Next slide, please. And then the intersection of Ray Road and Gilbert Road is one that the town will still make improvements here, but the timing of it, that's not slated to happen until after this all this funding source should have been used up. And so we'd like to move towards to some projects that have a higher level of just criticality, and from a timing perspective are going to happen sooner. That project again at Gilbert and Ray will happen. It's just going to be happening further out into the future. Next slide, please. So the first project we'd like to talk about is Warner Road between Power and Wrecker. Power Road is the margin between the town of Gilbert and the city of Mesa, and also Maricopa County here. There are unincorporated lands on the east side of Power Road, and also unincorporated lands on the south side of Warner Road here, west of Power Road. This is a situation where this is the kind of the last piece of Warner Road to get completed and to tie it in regionally in this area within the town of Gilbert's limits. And the town, because of the county islands and so many complexities are there, some existing development that's yet to come, the town feels that this is one that we'd really like to, we feel it's very important to move these arterial life cycle funds towards this project. It's going to be building the project out to the town's major arterial cross section. Next slide, please. Across the street in the city of Mesa, you lucky ducks over there, Maria, there's going to be a pretty important to the city of Mesa development that's coming. This is at the southeast corner of Warner and Gilbert, Power Roads. And this one is one that was announced recently by the city of Mesa, looking to be breaking construction to be starting here in 21. So the town thinks it's kind of important that we try to have adequate access to the things that are happening here within the region. There's a lot of just a commercial activity and industrial type of activity as well. This is going to be an economic, we feel this is going to be an economic powerhouse for the Southeast Valley. We want to make sure that we're doing what we can to support that the region here with Warner Road. Next slide, please. Breakdown of the costs. Shocker to everyone, roads are expensive. How about the next one? Our second one is going to be Baseline Road between Greenfield and Power Road. Baseline Road is one as again as a margin road between the town of Gilbert and the city of Mesa. There are some existing scallops along here, things that just things that just were built to a lesser standard or maybe not the full ultimate width that needs to be there. So these are things that we're looking to cure. We've been talking with the city of Mesa about this. The city of Mesa and the town of Gilbert have spent a lot of time coming up with an intergovernmental agreement to really address how we handle these margin roads appropriately. And this piece of Baseline Road is actually within the town of Gilbert completely. The town have full responsibility for the operations and maintenance of it. Construction we share half and half. But once construction is done, then the town is responsible for this piece of Baseline. the way we split it up, if anybody cares, Mesa has 100% of baseline road between Country Club or State Route 87 and the Consolidated Canal. Gilbert has 100% of baseline road from the Consolidated Canal to Power Road. This project is one that, again, it's very important. This is an economic, this is a big economic producer. The city of Mesa has a lot of investment that's happening on their side of Power Road, bringing some higher ed and other things, a medical campus in particular. We want to make sure that the facility is there to support the economy and the region. Next slide. Thank you very much that I just said all that stuff. Go ahead and go to the next slide. I'm kind of slow. And the dollars on this one, again, construction, that thank heavens there's a lot of this stuff we've been able to get growth to pay for it, pay its way, but it's really the places where the facility as constructed earlier really didn't anticipate the full need that is there. So there's the project costs. Go to the next slide. And the third project that we would like to add is the intersection of McQueen and Guadalupe. Again, this is one that's very important. Guadalupe, just a mile south of Baseline Road. McQueen, just south of here a little ways, it transitions into and moves into the city of Chandler. So again, a very important crossroads intersection, if you will, within the Southeast Valley region. Improvements are going to happen here, trying to get the traffic that intersection to operate at a better level of service, get it up to a level of service D. We have some site distance issues. Salt River project we're hoping is going to be looking to relocate a well that is currently on that hard northwest corner that would give us some space to be able to get turning lanes and get better site visibility. Again, an important intersection, and this is one that's crucial. The town of Gilbert is wanting to get this one moving forward more quickly than that intersection at Ray and Gilbert Road. Next slide, please. So this is, again, the value that we value, some ideas and some things that we wanted to share of why this one is important to us. If you want to go ahead and do the next slide for me, please, Samantha. And the costs for that intersection improvement are there for everybody to see. Next slide. Here is what the project change tool shows. As you can see, each of the three projects that we're wanting to bring in are score higher than the two that we're looking to replace. So that is there for everyone to see. And next slide, please. Again, to remove Mustang Drive and then remove the intersection of Ray and Gilbert Road. We want to replace them with Warner between Power and Wrecker, with Baseline between Greenfield and Power, and with the intersection of McQueen and Guadalupe. Next slide. And if there are any questions, oh, that's some beautiful pictures. We've got some lovely pictures out here in the town of Gilbert, don't we?
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, David. Maybe I missed it, but what is the timing on the Baseline Greenfield to Power?
Baseline Greenfield to Power, we're looking at FY23 to, I think 22, we want to begin design in 23 or 24 when we would go into construction. We have the Roosevelt Water Conservation District and the Eastern Maricopa Floodway. So we think that it might end up being longer in design than maybe if it didn't have those project constraints.
Okay, thank you. Do I have any questions from the committee?
Madam Chair, this is Paul Lopez from the city of Buckeye. Hey, Dave, I didn't happen to see it. I might have missed it. How do the three projects that you guys are proposing switching the funding over to compare to the funding that was previously allocated for the first two?
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Lopez, that's a great question. We've actually, we're overspending. There's no funding attached to two of them. We only have enough money right now to go in to cover what's there for Warner. We're having the other two, if dollars do become available, we just like to have them in there with the reallocations and things that may or may not happen, just to be prepared.
Thank you.
Okay, David, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
If there are no other questions, could I have a motion to recommend the project? Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, Dave Meinhardt, I make a motion that we include the proposed project change in the draft FY22 ALCP.
Thank you, David. Do I have a second?
Steve O'Brien, second.
Thank you, Steve. Okay. As we need other committee members to agree on this, please, when Samantha calls your name, please indicate yay or nay. Samantha?
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, Grant Anderson.
Aye.
Thank you. Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Thank you. Celeste Garza.
Yay.
Thank you. Bryce Christo.
Aye.
Thank you. Jerry Cooper.
Yay.
Thank you. David Fabiano. David?
Does it work this time?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. Yay.
Thank you. Angela Horn.
Yay.
Thank you. Jennifer Jack.
Aye.
Thank you. David Janover.
Aye.
Thank you. Kevin Lair. Okay. Paul Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. Steve O'Brien.
Yay.
Thank you. Tim Oliver.
Aye.
Thank you. Dana Owasani.
Aye.
Thank you. Herman Pedrahita.
Aye.
Thank you. Matt Reeg.
Aye.
Thank you. Patrick Sage.
Aye.
Thank you. Christopher Salas.
Aye.
Thank you. Emil Schmid.
Aye.
Thank you. Dave Meinhardt.
Aye.
Thank you. Leticia Vargas.
Aye.
Thank you. And Maria Angelica Deep.
Aye. Thank you. With the motion and the second and with all the members polled, the motion passes. Thank you. Let's proceed to agenda item number 7. This is the Maricopa County Department of Transportation is requesting to substitute the existing McCullops Road Bridge over the Salt River with a proposed ALCP project on Main Street, Sesamon Road to Meridian Road. Please refer to your enclosed material for the details. Ms. Angela Horn from McDOT and Ms. Sandy Toms from ADOT will now present the requested ALCP project change technical review. Angela, Sandy, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, fellow street committee members and guests. As mentioned, I'm Angela Horn from McDOT, and I'm here with Sandy Toms from ADOT presenting this ALCP project exchange. I'll have you go to the next slide. The original project is the McKellips Road project, which is from Alma School to the 202, and the proposed project is the US 60 or Main Street project from Sossaman to Meridian. And you can see them in the slide there. Next slide. So the original project, McKellips Road, is a major roadway across the Salt River. It is the third crossing in a 1-mile stretch, and it is the only low flow crossing. The other 2 arterials do have bridges. In a review of the recent data, we did find that there was an infrequent amount of flooding events that caused the roadway to close. In addition, we did look at the crash data from MCDOT, ADOT, as well as the SRPMIC transportation plan, which did not yield a large number of crashes in the recent years at the bridge location. We also, MCDOT has had experience recently with the Gilbert Road Bridge just a few miles away with substantial increased environmental and right-of-way costs. To put that in perspective, the original cost was about $43 million for this project. And we do believe it most likely would result in a higher cost. So given these factors, MCDOT does request that the McKellips Bridge be changed with the US 60X project. The US 60X project is a multi-jurisdictional project that is led by ADOT, who currently maintains the roadway. And with MCDOT owning over 20 roadways that cross the corridor, MCDOT does plan to take the roadway over after the completion of the improvements to provide a complete and consistent network for the regional roadway. So Sandy's now going to explain what is being proposed for the US 60X and the associated data. Sandy?
Yes. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Streets Committee. My name is Sandy Tomes. I'm the ADOT project manager for this proposed project on US 60X. So US 60X, it's also referred to as Main Street or Apache Trail. It's a 5-mile section between Sossaman and Meridian that's currently maintained by ADOT, but it lies in unincorporated Maricopa County between the cities of Mesa and Apache Junction. The corridor used to be the original US 60, so it was designed and constructed as a rural divided highway with a 64-foot median. But urban growth and development has kind of come in and significantly altered the surrounding land uses. So this project will install curb, gutter, sidewalks, bike lanes, street lighting, everything throughout the corridor. We will also be doing a road diet. So we'll be reducing the cross section from 6 lanes to 4 lanes. There was a study done in 2018 that concluded that a 4-lane section would provide the sufficient capacity beyond the 2040 design year. The corridor sees a lot of bicycle and pedestrian activity. So this project will be providing those vulnerable road users with some sort of space that they currently don't have. The 2018 study also looked at 5 years of crash data, and it identified 12 fatal and 26 serious injury crashes in that time frame. To put that in perspective, that equates to a fatal crash rate of 6.3 fatal crashes per 100 million vehicle miles traveled, and that's over 4 times the statewide average. So this is definitely a corridor that's high priority. Next slide, please. So here is a visual representation of some of our planned improvements. These cross sections were prepared as part of the 2018 study. But in that study, they originally proposed 11-foot travel lanes and to keep the existing right-of-way lines where they currently are. But we will instead use 12-foot lanes and kind of skinny up the right-of-way, as I have marked up in red here. The wide median will remain, but will allow for potential future widening if we need to towards the inside as traffic volumes necessitate. The project will also address access control. So we'll be establishing driveways for all the adjacent properties. And that will also address some of the current issues where vehicles tend to drive across the median to make a left turn. So again, tying into the safety. We know drainage is currently an issue out here. So that will be evaluated and looked at and addressed with this project. We will also evaluate locations to install some mid-block pedestrian crossings as necessary, and then just general pavement preservation efforts. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll want to skinny up the right-of-way. So once construction is complete and we know, as far out as we need in terms of the lighting and sidewalks and stuff, we will then set a new right-of-way line and turn back the excess right-of-way to adjacent property owners. And that'll help mitigate some of the current encroachment issues that we're experiencing. The end goal will be to basically just improve the overall safety and mobility throughout the corridor and ultimately turn the corridor over to MCDOT after completion. Next slide, please. Here is a breakdown of the ALCP change tool scoring, showing that the proposed project's total score is 1.15, whereas the one it's replacing was 0.95. This project is currently programmed in ADOT's 5-year program to begin design this year, and construction will begin in FY23. But we will need additional funds to accomplish everything that we're envisioning. So these ALCP funds will help us accomplish that. And with that, I would be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Angela. I do have 2 questions. But first, let's hear from other committee members.
Madam Chair, this is Jennifer Jack, and my question is if MCDOT has coordinated with the Salt River Indian community on this change since we were a project partner on the McKellips Bridge.
Hi, Jennifer. This is Angela. I will have to check with our intergov. We did check at your transportation plan and saw that it was in group 4, that was beyond 2040 for the segment, but we can circle back around with you to make sure your team also feels comfortable.
Thank you. I do know that I think we put this on the next RTP as a project. So
Okay.
right, I know that this wasn't in the near term, but I just want to make sure that our council and everyone are aware that this project might be removed for the time being.
And Jennifer, just to clarify as well, it would be a replacement of the ALCP, but we as MCDOT will reevaluate McKellips into the future just to ensure that, we are keeping on top of it. It's not necessarily going away, just from a priority angle of at the moment right now. That's really for the change, but I agree. We'll follow up with your team.
Thank you.
Any additional questions?
Madam Chair,
Please, David.
thank you. Yeah, 64 feet of median seems to be quite a bit in a typical urban environment. Are there thoughts to make any sort of reduction or diet further inward, or is that the plan to preserve that 64 feet for potential widening back to 6-lane if that becomes needed in the future?
So the 64-foot median, the 2018 study looked at short-term and long-term recommendations for the corridor. So what we're proposing on this project right now is the short-term to get us to a certain point, and then the ultimate recommendation did identify more of a typical cross-section to where that median gets reduced down to 16 feet or whatever MCDOT's preference is. So that's why we're kind of trying to skinny things up towards the inside. But the costs to jump straight from where we are now to that are pretty astronomical. So I think right now this is more of a first step, at least from our perspective. I don't know if Angela had anything different.
No, I would agree with that as well.
Thank you. One more question, Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Sandy, those and Angela, those intersections are kind of a pain in the neck to go through with the traffic signals and that holding space in the middle. Is there a thought to take those and to modify that operation to just go to single and not have those I don't even know what you want to call them, the suicide spaces in the middle of those intersections? I've gone through them on my bicycle more than once and thought this really sucks. So I'm curious if you're looking at those intersections, you're going to change them up to a more typical urban arterial intersection rather than the I don't even know what to call them right now, honestly.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like a 2-stage situation. So I am going to have the design team look at that to kind of see what improvements they can do to the intersections. If we can get something that, it could be a simple change in adjusting the signal timings, maybe not having that middle space in between where you kind of can stop between the two intersections. If we can accomplish what we need without doing a full rebuild, we're going to go that route for sure. I think there are some creative ways that we can kind of address things to clean it up without, because if we basically rebuild the whole intersection, there's like I said, the 65 or 64-foot median, unless you narrow everything down to a normal intersection, you're still going to have that. So we'll do what we can to clean up those intersections.
And I would agree with everything that Sandy says on that. At such a time, after improvements were made, we would look at it with our ITS team and everything to see how much further we can change things if we needed to.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Yes, please, Grant.
Thank you. In light of the comments from Jennifer Jack, I'm wondering if we should move forward or wait until the Native Americans have an opportunity to express their desires on the McKellips Road issue, since I didn't hear if they've been really, they were a partner, and I'm not sure what their partnership is, but it would be nice to make sure that they are in agreement with these changes.
Kristen, as a policy, what do you recommend?
Just as a question, I think then, thank you, Madam Chair, and Grant for your question or statement. Ms. Jack, this is for the arterial life cycle program up through 2025. With your comments, are you wanting us to table this and bring it back to the March committee meeting?
Will that delay the project? Will that cause a burden or a delay on you moving forward, McDOT and ADOT?
No, and thank you, Ms. Jack. I just want to, so this is for the FY 2022 arterial life cycle program update. So this actually wouldn't be considered, it wouldn't be approved till regional council approves in June of 2021. So the funding actually wouldn't be there until the start of July 1. So if we waited one more month, I don't see, from an arterial life cycle programming standpoint, I don't see a concern with that.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So in that case, I would say yes, let's please make sure that our leadership are aware of the change. I don't think that there's an issue. I don't have an issue with the proposal, but I do know that it is a joint project and there's a DCR and it's been a priority for council. And I think if it's explained that we will move that priority into a future and it could be placed on the next RTP cycle or whatever, that there'll be some understanding. But I definitely think that they need to understand that this project's being moved to another location. And so, yes, I would prefer that communication take place.
Thank you, Jennifer, for your comments. And I want to step out from the chair and now represent the city of Mesa. We are also part of the McKellips Bridge project as partners in that joint project. The first time that I knew about this project was preparing for this committee meeting. So maybe a letter or a conversation and to let us know that any concerns or comments from our management are addressed. I think that is best. As well as one of the, and maybe this is one of my misunderstandings at the city of Mesa, is that if we have current projects in the Prop 400, MAG is not looking at them in the Prop extension. So I do have a concern of getting it removed from Prop 400 if it's not going to be a project in the future.
Madam Chair, if it's okay, I did confirm that it was submitted for the extension.
Okay, thank you. Therefore, we're going to table this, Kristen, until March. But thank you for your presentation, Angela and Sandy, and thank you, Jennifer, for your comments.
Madam Chair, is a motion needed to table to our next meeting?
Kristen, do you know if we need to?
Madam Chair, I think in the best interest and for full transparency, it's not a bad idea if we do that. So my suggestion would be to amend this motion and let the committee members vote on that.
Thank you. So do I have a motion to table this request to the March committee meeting?
This is Jennifer. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. It's Grant.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Grant. Samantha, would you please poll the members?
Yes. All right. Grant Anderson.
Aye.
Thank you. Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Thank you. Celeste Garza.
Aye.
Thank you. Bryce Christo.
Aye.
Thank you. Jerry Cooper.
Aye.
Thank you. David Fabiano.
Aye.
Thank you. Angela Horn.
Aye.
Thank you. Jennifer Jack.
Aye.
Thank you. David Janover.
Aye.
Thank you. Kevin Lair. Okay. Paul Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. Steve O'Brien.
Yay.
Thank you. Tim Oliver.
Aye.
Thank you. Dana Owasani.
Aye.
Thank you. Herman Pedrahita.
Aye.
Thank you. Matt Reeg.
Aye.
Thank you. Patrick Sage.
Aye.
Thank you. Christopher Salas.
Aye.
Thank you. Emil Schmidt.
Aye.
Thank you. Dave Meinhardt.
Yay.
Thank you. Leticia Vargas.
Aye.
Thank you. And Maria Angelica Deed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed with agenda number 8. This is the City of Scottsdale is requesting to substitute the existing Legacy Boulevard project with 3 current ALCP projects on Happy Valley, Pima Road, and Range Tree Drive. Mr. David Meinhardt from the City of Scottsdale will now be presenting the requested ALCP project change technical review. David, please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Appreciate your time on this item today. As mentioned, we are proposing to substitute a single project that we have determined to be infeasible that's currently in the ALCP and shifting those funds into 3 projects that are underway but are short of the money necessary to complete them to their full scope. If you move to the next slide, please. The project we're proposing to substitute out Legacy Boulevard from Hayden Road on the west to Pima Road on the east was going to be a minor arterial complete street based on our typical design guidelines here in the city. But the biggest challenge with this corridor is in the middle section of it, just a little bit to the right of the $17.7 million label. The alignment that had been considered for this corridor runs right through the middle of the city's water campus, which has water treatment on one side of the alignment and wastewater processing on the other side of the alignment. There's also a major power line corridor that runs along there. So we did run into some challenges. A little over a year ago, we asked MAG staff to do some modeling of some scenarios for this particular project to determine feasibility. And again, if you go to the next slide, please. What we found as part of that modeling effort was that the corridor to the north, Wallapai Drive, indicated as item 2 and kind of the blue and the green, actually is forecasted to attract about 50% more traffic in 2040 than the red alignment that we're proposing to substitute out. The amount of money that is in this corridor in total allows us to still complete the Wallapai corridor, which basically ends up at the exact same place on the west side at Hayden Road, does end up a different location on Pima Road, but it does make a strong 4-lane link between Hayden Road and Pima Road and provides access into an area that is now seen quite a bit of development activity. Here you're seeing a lot of vacant land that's owned by the state of Arizona. That is, many parcels are either have been sold or being developed. You can see just barely on this slide down on the left center, it says Nationwide Complex. That is a major office and retail and hotel complex that is under construction, and the state is actively working on and looking at other parcels to sell. So the great news is that we've got a corridor that we can build that feasibly, and it provides a similar east-west connection, and based on forecasts by MAG, it actually is expected to carry more traffic. Next slide, please. So the 3 projects that we're proposing as the substitutes for the Legacy Boulevard project are all projects that are way into the design phase, and we keep seeing increases in costs primarily due to right-of-way and drainage issues. The item, or the one on the top, Happy Valley Road from Pima Road over to Alma School, we're proposing to transfer approximately $8 million worth of total budget, 5 million of that, which would be from the ALCP, 5.6 million, that'd be from the ALCP funds to keep that project moving forward. And then Pima Road, which is running north-south and intersects with Happy Valley Road, proposing a $5 million total increase in that budget, of which 3.5 million would be coming from the ALCP. Again, the rest of the match would be coming from City of Scottsdale. And then Rain Tree Drive down at the bottom is a new alignment that we've created on the south side of the city's airport to try to improve access through our air park, which is one of the primary employment centers in the entire region. This particular segment goes from Scottsdale Road on the west to Hayden Road on the east, but the roadway improvements we're doing actually continue all the way over to the Loop 101 freeway interchange with Rain Tree Drive. So the whole idea for that corridor is to have a continuous connection that would link people from Scottsdale Road and the Thunderbird intersection currently over to Rain Tree Drive and the 101. And we're looking to shift about $3.3 million worth of ALCP budget and 4.7 million total to try to keep that project moving. We actually have a phase 1 going to construction, but it looks like we may have to go to as many as 3 phases to get the whole reach between Scottsdale Road and Hayden completed. Next slide, please. So I've already kind of gone through all the details here. That's the beauty of not running the slides yourself. You forget where you are, but I don't need to go in any further detail on this one. Looking at the project change tool summary, pretty dramatic difference between the project we're proposing to substitute out for the 3 projects that we're trying to ensure that we can complete in a reasonable timeline. Again, all those projects are scheduled to be completed over the next 2 to 3 years. And based on just the total score, they all scored roughly 3 times higher than the project we're proposing to substitute. Next slide, please. That's all I have, and I appreciate your patience and time and be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, David. Does anybody from the committee have any questions for David? Okay, hearing none. I do have a question, David. You mentioned that all 3 projects are currently under design?
Madam Chair, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. If nobody has additional questions, could I have a motion to recommend the project?
Madam Chair, David Fabiano, Town of Gilbert, like to move to approve the project as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, Grant.
Thank you, Grant. When Samantha calls your name, please indicate yea or nay to recommend the project. Samantha?
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, Grant Anderson.
Aye.
Thank you. Charles Andrews.
Aye.
Thank you. Celeste Garza.
Aye.
Thank you. Bryce Christo.
Aye.
Thank you. Jerry Cooper.
Aye.
Thank you. David Fabiano.
Yay.
Thank you. Angela Horn.
Yay.
Thank you. Jennifer Jack.
Yay.
Thank you. David Janover.
Aye.
Thank you. Kevin Lair. Paul Lopez.
Aye.
Thank you. Steve O'Brien.
Yay.
Thank you. Tim Oliver.
Aye.
Thank you. Dana Wasani.
Aye.
Thank you. Herman Pedrahita.
Aye.
Thank you. Matt Reig.
Aye.
Thank you. Patrick Sage.
Aye.
Thank you. Christopher Salas.
Aye.
Thank you. Emil Schmidt.
Aye.
Thank you. Dave Meinhardt.
Yay.
Thank you. Leticia Vargas.
Aye.
Thank you. And Maria Angelica Deep.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. With the motion and the second and all the members polled, the motion passes. Thank you. Let's proceed with agenda item 9. This is a request by the street committee members for any items on future agenda. Do I have any requests? Hearing none, let's please proceed with agenda item number 10, and this is updates from member agencies. I would like to invite members to share information related to ongoing street-related project activities in their jurisdiction. Please let me know if you want to provide any updates.
This is Dave Jennifer with City of Avondale. Just want to let everybody know that the Fairway Drive interchange and the city project that we just finished of realigning Fairway Drive off of that interchange is now open. It officially opened on January 25th. So just want to thank the folks at ADOT and for their interchange project. And it's nice to finally have this one behind us. So much appreciated.
Thank you, David. Does anybody have any additional updates?
Madam Chair.
Please go ahead, David.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The mayor of the town of Gilbert and the town council recently tasked a citizens transportation task force with reviewing and looking at transportation needs within the town of Gilbert. The task force had been originally brought together about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and had looked at the different transportation needs. They had made a recommendation to the town council to forward the general obligation bond initiative to the voters for about $465 million for transportation needs in the town of Gilbert. With the advent of COVID-19, the pandemic, and all the things that went with it, the town council determined that they were not going to ask that any question of voters for general obligation debt issuance in fiscal year 2020. That task force is recommending something back again to the council, so their town council and the town of Gilbert may be considering referring to the ballot for voters in the general election of 2021 general obligation and a large amount of money again for transportation needs within the town of Gilbert. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional updates?
Madam Chair, Dave Meinhardt.
Please, David.
And Mr. Fabiano's comment reminded me that we here in City of Scottsdale and our transportation department are into the very beginning stage of an update to our transportation master plan. That's going to be an in-house driven effort. One of the main things that we will be looking at street related is that we actually have a fair number of segments of streets in our community that were overbuilt based on population assumptions that didn't come into play, either because in activity levels due to various economic situations, and then of course changes in our overall travel patterns because of the McDonald's Sonoran Preserve. So we are now at the stage of in our community where we have projects to build out, like our ALCP projects, but a lot of our future efforts are going to be in actually more of what was discussed for the US 60X corridor of right sizing projects and corridors to be more beneficial to the surrounding community. But we will be working over the next 8 to 10 months on that effort, and hopefully we can give the committee another update or two as we go along. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional updates? Thank you all. Let's proceed with agenda item 11. And it is just to let everybody know that our next street committee meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March 9th at 1 p.m. via Zoom or teleconference. And we will let you know if the meeting is not held virtually, but otherwise is going to be virtual. Will I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, Dave Meinhardt.
Thank you. No vote is required for adjourning, so thank you very, very much. I appreciate everybody participating and listening to other agencies' presentations.
Thanks all. Have a great day.